Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kristin, and now that it's fall time, I like to make pumpkin recipes, right? So does a lot of people. So do a lot of people, I'm sure. So I have roasted a few pumpkins. I did this a few days ago. I've been meaning to getting around to making this recipe, but I just haven't. And today is the day. So it's going to be a pumpkin roll with a cream cheese filling. It sounds really, really good, dusted with powdered sugar on the outside, and it just sounds really delicious to me. So I'm gonna make this cake. It doesn't take long to bake in the oven. It takes like under 15 minutes, and it's a thin cake, and then you roll it out, roll it up, and do all the things, and it's just really good. I love Swiss rolls. They are so good, and they're actually easier to make than you think. They're kind of intimidating when you haven't done it before, but once you get it down, it's a really fast and easy dessert to make. I have no idea what's for dinner tonight, but I know what's for dessert, so half the battle's done, right? Half the work is done. So if you'd like to see how I do this, then just keep watching. Okay, to start this recipe, you're gonna want to preheat your oven to 375. That's what I have going over there, my oven. Then you're gonna get a 15 by 10 inch jelly roll pan, which is roughly this. This is 15 inches, and then it's about 11 inches wide. So I mean, yeah, so it's fine. So just get one of those. Get your nonstick spray. Spray it. We don't want our nice delicate cake sticking to our pan, right? So we're going to spray it really well. Piece of parchment. Love parchment paper. Then put it down on the pan, which it'll stick really well because there's nonstick spray. So I'll just smooth it down. And then grease and flour the parchments. So I'll show you what I'm doing here. Okay. Hold please. Okay. I have my little recipe here. So parchment paper's down. So I'll just spray it again with my nonstick spray. Then I have my flour here. I'll just get a spoon, grab a little bit out, sprinkle it over, and then just kind of knock it around the surface of the paper. So that way we won't have any oopsies with our cake sticking. Don't want any oopsies. I'm going to save some right here. Just go like that. Okay, first of all, we're going to put together all the dry ingredients in a small bowl. Okay, so first we need 3/4 of a cup all-purpose flour, which I have right here. I have a 1/4 cup, so I'm going to put 3 of these in, like that. Go like this. Scrape off the excess. I've heard that you need that in order to get a correct measurement for flour, that you use a spoon and spoon the flour into your measuring cup. So that way the flour isn't packed into your measuring cup and then you end up with extra flour in your recipe. So I don't know. I do it. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but just trying to be as accurate as I can. So we'll see. Okay, there's 3/4 of a cup all-purpose flour. Done with that. Get that out of the way. And then I need 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I just had my baking soda. So make it a half a teaspoon of baking powder. Scrape some off, goes in, and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Just get some in there, and then scrape a little bit of the extra off the top. And then we have ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon. I'm going to do a heaping teaspoon because I love cinnamon. Okay. And then half a teaspoon of ground cloves. Whoop. Like that. I know it's backwards. I'm sorry, but this way I can make sure I'm in the frame. Cloves. I love cloves. Just fall. It's just fall. I love it. I love it. And then we need a quarter teaspoon of salt. I'll just like say that much. Okay. And then we need a whisk. Make sure that's what we have so far. Whisk our dry ingredients all together. All right, now I'm going to take this bigger bowl and I'm going to get eggs and sugar and whisk those together until the mixture is thick. So I have my eggs over here on standby. I'm going to grab myself a little wooden spoon here. And I'll just crack in my eggs. This is the first time I've made a pumpkin roll. I've made a chocolate one many times, but never a pumpkin one. So I wanted to try that. That with the cream cheese just sounds so good. So I wanted to give it a go. And then I need a cup of granulated sugar. So get that in. Just like that. Put that in there. Done with that. Now I'm going to get my spoon and vigorously mix until it's thick. Okay. Let me see. Well, so just get this. Whisk, whisk. Be right back. We're getting there. Getting a little thicker. Okay, I think this is as thick as it's going to get, right? I don't want to dump it out, but yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, now I have the pumpkin. You can use canned pumpkin if you want, but like I said, I wanted to roast my own pumpkin so they can roast the seeds and, you know, just do it from scratch. So I need 2/3 cup of pumpkin. And I just wanted to talk to you about something real quick here. So there's a lot of water in pumpkin, right? So after I roasted the pumpkin and then pureed it in the food processor, then I put it in a fine mesh sieve and I lined the sieve with a coffee filter and I just I covered it like with a towel or, you know, whatever, and just left it in the fridge for a few days, to be honest. And a lot of the water came out. And this is a good thing because then that extra water won't end up in your cake, making it weird and gummy. Like I've done that before with real pumpkin. I made a pumpkin bread one time and I didn't drain the water out first, and the texture of the pumpkin bread was just really not great. It wasn't great. It was really gummy and just odd. Like it tasted really good, but the texture was no good. So Moral of the story, if you do roast your own pumpkin, make sure and let your pumpkin drain before you make anything with it. That will really help, because as you can see, like there's no extra water anywhere. And I think this is going to give my pumpkin roll a really nice texture. Okay, I have a 2/3 cup here. So I'm just going to spoon out 2/3 cup of this. Let me double check that in my recipe here. Yes, this recipe, if you make it, it uses Libby's pure pumpkin, like canned pumpkin, but I made my own. So I'm going to do this. I'm just saying that's the only difference in that recipe versus what I'm showing you here. Okay. And then I have a lot left over here, so I could like freeze it. I also like to make freeze little balls of it and make little treats for my dog. He really likes pumpkin. So I could do that with the leftover too, or I could save this and make another recipe. So I'm going to dump this into my egg and sugar mixture. Okay, and then you get your spoon out, and then we're gonna vigorously mix in the pumpkin into the sugar and oh my god, eggs. Sorry. So then I'll just mix this together. And I thought, this could make a really good treat for Thanksgiving too. If you don't want to do like a pie or something like that, you could just do a pumpkin Swiss roll, and it'll be just great at the end of the delicious, huge Thanksgiving meal. Who's looking forward to Thanksgiving dinner? I love it. I love it. It's so good. So I'm just going to combine all this stuff and I'll be right back. Okay, almost there. So yeah, I'm having fun. My husband is right now, he's elk hunting. And so that means I'm alone in the house right now. And this is great. My kids are at school still. Actually, my daughter will be home in a little bit, but I get to do this and just talk to you guys, because when he's home, I don't get the chance to do this. He doesn't like it when I ask him to leave the room all the time, so I can do a video. Like, he's just not going to cooperate like that every time I want him to. It's just not going to happen. So this is really nice. I'm enjoying myself right now. Okay, moving on to the next step number 5. I'm going to take the flour mixture and stir it into the wet ingredients. So let me angle you down a little bit so you can see a little more, like that. There we go. Now I'll just stir the dry into the wets like this until just combined. Okay, you don't want to go overboard with the stirring. We want a nice, soft, delicate cake. We don't want to work it too much. I'm just going a little bit at a time here. Trying not to get too vigorous with it. There goes the rest of it. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to clean up my mess a little bit here, clean up my work area, and we'll put it in the pan and put it in the oven. Okay, ready to put the batter in the pan. You see? Okay, so I'm going to pour this in. I'm going to switch over to a spatula. I want to get every little bit of this cake batter into the pan. And you can top this with nuts if you want, per the instructions, walnuts. I don't think my kids would like that very much, so I'm not going to do that. But that sounds like a fabulous idea to me too. So anyway, just trying to get the rest of this out. Yeah, so this cake is going to be pretty thin. It's not going to take long at all to bake. And I'm just trying to spread it as evenly as I can in this pan here so that it'll roll properly when it's done. And it will be delicious. To be honest, I did add some more flavors to this. I added some more spices, some more clove and cinnamon. And I did add a little bit of ground ginger too. That goes really well with the other spices, so I thought I would do that. All right. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna just do this. Okay, and now we're going over to the oven. So I'm gonna put this in the oven. Ooh, it's really crooked. I don't know if that. Woo! That's way too crooked. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. So I'm gonna put this in the oven, 375. I'm gonna put it in for 11 minutes. It says 11 to 13 if using a dark pan. So I think this is a dark pan. So I'm just gonna check it after 11 minutes. And you know it's done when you put your finger on it and it springs back. The cake springs back. That means it's done. Then you'll take it out and then we're going to invert it onto a towel dusted with powdered sugar. Okay? So I'll get this in the oven. Timer 11 minutes. Okay. Got my timer going. And I'll see you when it comes out of the oven. Okay, so in the meantime, while the cake is baking, I'm going to prepare the towel that I'm going to invert the cake onto so I can roll it up and let it cool. So I have powdered sugar here. So I'm just going to dust this towel with the powdered sugar. This will make sure that the cake doesn't stick to the towel and that I can unroll it and it will come away from the towel easily. I don't need a ton. I tend to over sugar when I do this, but this is a clean towel, by the way. I didn't just grab it from my little island rack here. So just gonna dust this towel and have it ready so that when the cake is done, I have somewhere to put it, the cake. And I'll be able to. So there, that's done. So I'm just gonna wait until the cake is done baking and I'll show you how I do the next step. All right. Here's my cake. It's all done. And it springs back, you see? Okay, so now I'm going to immediately put it onto this towel. You just kind of have to commit. And then peel the paper back like that. Gonna put the pan to the side. And then starting with the narrow end, which is, this end, I'm gonna start rolling my cake. Actually, I should just go like that. Hold on. Okay, so you'll want to do this right when it comes out of the oven, so it's still nice and soft and it's hot, so you can still maneuver it like this. So as you can see, I have like I went too far out with my powdered sugar, but just fold it over like that. And then get a wire rack and move it to the wire rack and then let this cool. To speed things along a little bit though, I'm gonna put it in the fridge for a little while. You'll wanna wait till it's completely cool. Correct? Let's see. Yeah, and then we'll unroll it, spread the cream cheese filling on the inside, and then roll it back up, and then it'll refrigerate for an hour. And then after the hour, then you can sprinkle it with powdered sugar, serve, and enjoy. So that's my plan. So like this, I'm gonna put it in the fridge, let it cool, completely cool. I'll let it sit in there maybe for an hour or something. I have to go pick up my son at the school he had basketball practice. So I'll probably finish this after I get home from doing that, like, you know, in an hour and a half or something. So I'll check back when I'm ready to unroll this and fill it, okay? Okay, now I'm ready to do the filling, the cream cheese filling. So I have 6 tablespoons of butter in here, softened, that, you know, and then I have 1 block, 8 ounces of cream cheese, softened also. So I'm just gonna dump the cream cheese into the butter, and then I'm gonna mix until combined. Okay, and then I'm gonna add a splash of vanilla. Can't have cream cheese filling, frosting, what have you, without a little vanilla. Ooh, I'm gonna put a little bit of salt too, just because it'll help enhance the flavors. Okay, so just gonna mix those together like that. This has been downstairs in the fridge chilling for a couple, well, 3 hours probably actually. And I wanted to finish this before it gets too late in the evening here. Okay, and then to sweeten it, 1 cup of powdered sugar. So I'm sorry if it's what I'm doing on the tabletop here is shaking the camera. I'm sorry. Okay, in there. Then I'll take my whisk again. I'm gonna put this on the tabletop and combine all of these things together. Maybe a whisk wasn't the greatest idea because, but okay, let me get a spatula. That would work better. All my big ones are dirty. I have this one, but I'll just clean the butter and the cream cheese out of the whisk and get to mixing. Yeah, it's better. Like that. I love these types of whisks, this kind, where it's just all one piece, like the spatula part isn't separate from the handle. So much better like this. But yeah, comes together super easy. Just like that. Like that. I'm just trying to work out some of the lumps here. Just like that. Okay. Okay, now it's time for our cake. Let's angle you down here. Okay, so now the directions are to carefully unroll the cake. Like so. Oh, I did it. Shoot. Okay, here we go. Never mind, disregard that, what happened right there. Okay. So then we have our unrolled cake here. I'm sorry. Okay. There's a weird shadow from the ring light. I don't like that. Okay, so then we take our filling and hold please. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so just take your filling and I'm gonna try, oh, it's cracked right here. But that doesn't surprise me because it's where the crease is, where I started rolling in the first place. So I'll just put a little extra there, maybe fill it in a little bit. I think this is going to make more frosting than we're going to need. Because I don't want to go all the way to the edge. I'm really close, but I don't want to go over the edge because then you run the risk of it oozing out and making it hard to roll and all that stuff. But we want it to look pretty when it's cut. I want to have that nice swirl in there. So I think we're about there. Okay. So then I'm going to roll this back up and then you let it chill for another hour so that the frosting can set and then it'll be ready to slice into. So I'm just gonna carefully, kind of tightly, without too much pressure, because it's very, very delicate, we'll say. Okay, so that is that. See that? I think that's gonna look good. Here's the other side. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it on my little dish here that I'm gonna keep it on. And I'm gonna cover it in some plastic wrap, put it back in the fridge for a little bit, and then we'll dust it with some powdered sugar and then cut into it. Okay, so now we can put some powdered sugar on the top for decoration. It's gorgeous. Okay, now we can cut it. Ooh, looks good. Looks good. Let's see the inside of it. Maybe that's a shadow. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, yeah, do another little cut. Perfect. Looks good. Okay. Good. So now I need to taste this. Let's get a plate here. I'll take this one. This looks good. Be a little dainty. Oh yeah. Perfect. Good spice level. Just the right amount of creaminess and sweetness from the cream cheese. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Love it. Glad I made it. I'm going to make another one. Not right now, but later. So anyway, if you want to bring something to Thanksgiving dinner that you may be going to, obviously, not too many people will be able to eat this. So you'd have to make a couple. It's pretty small, but this would be a great little addition to bring to Thanksgiving for a little dessert, or just to have on the table. Sorry if you can hear my son, he's playing games. But anyway, this was a really good recipe. I will link it for you in the description box below. And subscribe, please, if you haven't done so already. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to tap the bell, the notification bell that will let you know every time that I upload a video. I upload every week, 1 or 2 times a week, 2 times a week, preferably. 3 would be awesome, but it doesn't always work out that way, folks. No, it doesn't. So I'm just gonna finish my little dessert here. I'm gonna wrap it and put it in the fridge and enjoy it for another day or so. So I will see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye.